Concepts of straight line. If you want to draw a line, first you should know how much bend. What is the first important concept of straight line? Slope. What is meant by slope of a line? What is theta? Angle made by the line with x-axis. How to find slope of line joining points? If all the forms of lines are on your tongue tip, then any problem becomes easy. What is m? Slope of the line. What is theta? Angle made by the line with x-axis. Welcome to the session, dear students. So in today's class, we'll be starting with an interesting and important chapter, that is straight lines. Before I start this chapter, let me guide you the applications. See, whenever you want to climb the stairs, so you'll see the slope. If slope is very high, if slope is more, it is very difficult for you to climb. Steep or slope, we'll say. And for any line, will have bend or slope, and many situations, many polygons are constructed by straight lines. And tangent means what? Line touching the curve at one point, and diameter, that is also a line. So many situations in life also deals with straight lines. So first we have to understand what is a straight line, then we have to understand the concepts related with straight lines, and all the basics of straight lines will help you to understand tangents and normals better. So now, what is a straight line and what are the parameters of straight line? What are the different forms of straight line? We'll see. So this is one of the interesting chapters in analytical geometry, or we say coordinate geometry. See, in your high school, you used to solve problems by drawing. The geometrical problems can be solved by drawing, but here we'll draw a draft diagram and we'll represent everything in terms of equations. The purpose of analytical geometry or the purpose of coordinate geometry is we want to coordinate the diagrams with equation. The major purpose is what? We don't draw, we'll write an equation. That equation will guide you a drawing. For a circle, we'll have diagram. See, the coordinate geometry, we'll study straight lines and conics and introduction to 3D. In all these chapters, we don't draw more. We convey every drawing or we convey every geometrical structure in the form of equations. That is a basic theme of this chapter. Okay, we'll start with what is a straight line and what are the concepts of straight line. So now, coming to the concepts of straight line, if you want to draw a line, first you should know how much bend. So if I ask you to draw a line, you can draw like this, you can draw like this, you can draw like this. So I have to specify how many degrees it is making with x-axis. Then you can draw specific line. Means, if you want to talk about any line, first, the very first concept is slope. What is the first important concept of straight line? Slope. What is meant by slope of a line? Slope of a line is the tangent of angle made by the line with x-axis. If you take any line, the line makes an angle theta with what axis? X-axis. So find tangent of angle. So tan theta, if you find, that is slope. If you ask me why tan theta, why not sin theta or cos theta? All of you know tan definition in first year PUC or in your high school, you studied what is tan theta. What is tan theta? A trigonometric function. Tan means what? Opposite by adjacent. Opposite means this height. Adjacent means this base. So depending on how much height it is, how much is the length of the base, then you can see the steep, the bend. Slope, simple meaning of slope is what? Bend. How much the line is bent depends on how much angle it is making with x-axis, and that we can measure with respect to the height. This is height we call it as opposite, and this we call it as adjacent. Opposite by adjacent is what? Tan theta. So that's why we measure slope in terms of tan theta. So first an important concept of straight lines is slope. What is slope? Tangent of angle made by the line with x-axis. What is slope? Tangent of angle made by the line with x-axis in positive direction. In what direction? Positive means we measure in anti-clockwise direction. We measure like this. What is the slope of a line? Slope of a line is tangent of angle made by the line with x-axis. How many degrees it will make with x-axis? So if it makes 30 degrees, suppose the line makes 30 degrees with x-axis, slope is tan theta, that is tan 30. All of you know tan 30. Tan 30 is what? Root 3, 1 by root 3. This is a slope. Slope, and when you say a slope, tan theta means what? Opposite side by adjacent side. So both the units cancel, so we don't write units. So now all of you know how to find slope. How to find slope? Slope is tangent of angle made by the line with x-axis. What is slope? Tangent of angle made by the line with x-axis in positive direction, means in anti-clockwise. We should measure like this. This is also angle made by the line with x-axis, but I am measuring like this. This measurement we should take. So by rule we say tangent of angle made by the line with x-axis in positive direction is slope. What is slope? Slope is tangent of angle made by the line with x-axis. Tan theta. Theta means angle made by the line with x-axis. Other name for theta is inclination. We can also call theta as what? Inclination. This is the angle made with x-axis. Angle made by the line. Angle made by the line with x-axis. And this is also called as what? Made by the line with x-axis. This is also called as inclination. Word inclination in maths means it is inclined. Inclined means what? It is making an angle theta. Theta stands for angle made by the line with x-axis, or a simple word we use, inclination. Now onwards, what is inclination? Angle made by the line with x-axis. How much it is inclined means how much angle it is making with x-axis. So very first concept of straight line is what? Slope. What is slope? Tangent of angle made by the line with x-axis. If you know how much angle the line is making with x-axis, you can find slope. What is slope? Tangent of angle made by the line with x-axis represents slope, and you have to measure the angle in anti-clockwise direction. Coming to this, so first we'll find some simple problems we'll solve. So for that, trigonometric functions and standard angle table you have learnt in your high school. Let us recollect. We'll take only tan because we defined slope. Slope of a line is what? What is slope of a line? It is symbolized using letter M. M in maths stands for slope. Small m stands for what? Slope. So M is slope. Slope is what? Tan theta, tangent of angle made by the line with x-axis. So now theta. Theta may be 0, 30, 45, 60, 90. If theta is 0, tan 0 is 0. Tan 30 is 1 by root 3. Tan 45, 1. Tan 60, root 3. Tan 90, infinity. So these are the tangent of angle. What is tan 0? 0. Tan 30, 1 by root 3. Tan 45, 1. Tan 60, root 3, infinity. So you should know this table by heart, or you should memorize these values. And I hope all of you know this. So what is tan 0? 0. Tan 0 degrees is 0. Tan 30 degrees, 1 by root 3. Tan 45, 1. Tan 60, root 3, infinity. Say first element 0 is 0, last is infinity. 30 is 1 by root 3, then you take only numerator 45, then only denominator, that's it. What is tan 0? 0. 30, tan 30 is 1 by root 3, tan 45 1, tan 60 root 3, tan 90 infinity. So now you also know pi radians is 180 degrees. Pi means 180 degrees. Pi by 2 means 180 by 2. What is 180 by 2? 90. Pi by 3. 180 by 3, 60. 180 by 4, 45. So in spite of 45, you can write pi by 4. In spite of 90, you can write pi by 2. In spite of 60, you can write pi by 3. Pi stands for what? 180 degrees. Pi radians is 180 degrees. So that again we'll be studying in trigonometry. So now find the slope of the line which makes an angle 30 degrees with x-axis. So we'll solve some sample questions. The first question is they're asking to find slope of the line. Slope of the line they want, and the line is making how much? Angle 30 degrees with x-axis. If they don't give in which direction, by default it is positive direction, that is anti-clockwise. So now first problem to solve, first I'll write what is given. What is given? Theta is given. Angle made by the line with x-axis is called as inclination, or theta, that is given. How much they gave? Theta is how much? 30 degrees. So theta is given 30 degrees. And they want you to find slope. What is the formula for slope? M is equal to, M represents slope. M is what? Tan theta. What is M? Tan theta. So that is M is tan 30. And what is tan 30? Tan 30 degrees is 1 by root 3. That's why I asked you to remember this table. So tan 30 degrees, you can say tan 30 degrees is what? 1 by root 3. So what is the slope of a line? Slope of a line is tangent of angle made by the line with x-axis. If they give angle made by the line with x-axis, we call that as theta. We also call it as inclination, and use the formula. What is the formula? M is equal to what? Tan theta. Means if you know angle made by the line with x-axis, then you can find slope. Then second question, find the slope of the line which makes an angle 30 degrees with y-axis. So now I am going with, first we have done, we are going for second. Second, interesting, they gave angle again. How much? 30 degrees with what axis? Y-axis. They have not given with respect to x-axis, they gave with respect to what? Y-axis. So now theta given angle made by the line. Suppose if this is your line, this is the, see now this is x-axis, this is y-axis. say this is our line, and they give this angle. They give this angle between what axis? Y axis and line, but we need this. They gave this as 30 degrees. So given, I'll call it as alpha, and this we need theta. They give alpha. Alpha is what? Angle made by the line with y axis, because always we are using theta to represent what? Angle with x axis. They gave angle with what axis? Y axis. Please read the question carefully. They gave angle made by the line with y axis. They gave alpha. Now theta is 90 minus alpha. I want this part, angle between x axis and y axis. All of x axis and y axis, they are perpendicular. So between these two it is 90. Alpha plus theta is 90. Alpha plus theta is how much? 90. Alpha plus theta is 90, but I need only theta. Theta becomes 90 minus alpha. Theta is 90 minus 30. 90 minus 30 is what? 60 degrees. So now I got angle made by the line with x axis. I want angle made by the line with x axis. I got it. Now if you observe, they want slope. Now you go for the formula for slope. What is the formula for slope? M is equal to, what is the slope formula? M is equal to what? Tan theta. So now we got theta. What is theta now? 60. So tan 60. What is tan 60? Tan 60 is what? Root 3. If you see the table, you have tan 60. Tan 60 is root 3. This is the slope. Slope is root 3. Some students will not read it carefully. So what they'll do? In hurry, they'll read angle is 30 degrees. They'll put tan 30. Tan 30 becomes 1 by root 3. That is wrong. But they gave 30. But 30 is not with x axis. They gave 30 with what axis? Y axis. When they give angle with y axis, first find angle with what? X axis. All of angle between x axis and y axis is 90. So if this is given, this is what? 90 minus alpha. What is theta? 90 minus alpha. What is theta? 90 minus alpha. What is alpha? Angle made by the line with what axis? Y axis. If they give y axis, 90 minus you should do. That's it. So now I taught you concept of slope. What is slope of a line? Tangent of angle made by the line with x axis. What is slope? Tangent of angle made by the line with x axis in positive direction. M is equal to tan theta. Theta means inclination. Inclination means what? Angle made by the line with x axis. If they give with respect to y axis, you do 90 minus given angle, then you will get x axis. Then we will find slope of line joining points. See, first we have learned how to find slope. That is tan theta. That formula you can use when they give theta. When they give angle made by the line with x axis, you can use it. But sometimes they'll give line joining points. A is x1, y1 and B is x2, y2. They give 2 points. You can see in the diagram. This is a line AB. One point is x1, y1. The other point is x2, y2. Now I need to find slope of AB. How to find slope of AP? So I'll draw perpendicular BM and AM. AM and BM are perpendicular. From the diagram I'll write tan theta. So slope of AB. What is slope of AB? M. What is M? Tan theta. You know the definition of slope. Slope means tangent of angle made by the line with x-axis, tan theta. From this diagram, what is tan theta? Tan theta means what? Opposite side divided by adjacent side. Opposite by adjacent. So tan theta is BM divided by AB. Tan theta is BM divided by AB. So BM divided by AB. BM is what? Difference of y coordinate. Y2 minus y1. AM is what? x2 minus x1. So now this is slope. Slope is what? Difference of y coordinate by difference of x coordinate. This is the other formula for slope. When they give line joining points, how to find slope? Difference of y coordinate by difference of x coordinate gives you slope. And simple. These are the line joining points. Construct a triangle. From the triangle, define tan theta. All of you know tan means what? Opposite side. What is tan? Opposite side divided by adjacent side. So here what is opposite? BM. What is adjacent? AM. BM by AM. So the BM length is difference of y coordinate, because this length is y2 and this length is y1. So here to here, from origin, this is y2 minus y1 and this length is x1, this length is x2. Horizontal is difference of x coordinate, vertical is difference of y coordinate. Using that, we'll get this. So what is the slope of line joining points? y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1. Difference of y coordinate by difference of x coordinate. Then we'll have simple problems where they'll ask you to find slope of line joining points. Now we'll find slope of line joining points. How to find slope of line joining points? So difference of y coordinate by difference of x coordinate. So now first problem, they give this as a first problem. What is the first pair they give? Minus 3, 2 and second pair is 4, 5. So I call this as x1, y1 and I call this as x2, y2. So now I need to find slope of line joining points. m is equal to, what is the slope formula? y2 minus y1, difference of y coordinate divided by x2 minus x1, difference of x coordinate. How to find slope of line joining points? y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1. So now what is y2? y2 is 5 minus what is y1? 2. 5 minus 2 divided by what is x2? x2 is what? 4 divided by x1 minus 3. Minus in the formula minus. Now 5 minus 2 is 3. 4 plus 3. So 3 by 7 is the slope. y2 minus y1. y2 minus y1 is 5 minus 2, 3. And x2 minus x1, 4 minus of minus 3, 4 plus 3, 4 plus 3 is 7. 3 by 7 is the slope. So now we got slope of line joining points AB. Similarly, you can also find slope of other set B. So directly, what is m? y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1. What is y2? 4 minus what is y1? Minus 2 divided by x2. What is x2? Minus 3 minus what is x1? Minus 1. So 4 plus 2 divided by minus 3 plus 1. 4 plus 2 is 6. 6 by minus 2. So if you divide it will become minus 3. So now you got slope. What is slope? Minus 3. I hope all of you understood this. How to find slope of line joining points? Slope of line joining points formula is simple. Difference of y coordinate by difference of x coordinate. How to find slope? y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1. If they give angle theta, theta means what? Angle made by the line with x-axis, use formula m is equal to tan theta. If they give points, coordinates of the points, then use the formula y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1. Then we'll have different forms of lines. So now all of you know what is the definition of slope. What is slope? Slope means what? Tangent of angle made by the line with x-axis. Similarly, you can also find slope if I give two end points, or if I give two line joining points, still you can find slope. How to find slope of line joining points? y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1. Now we are going for different forms of line. I told you in your high school, every drawing, see if circles or triangles, you should draw. Now a line, instead of line we'll write equation. Instead of line we'll write what? Equation. So coordinate geometry is, it's a tool which is helpful for us to convert the diagrams to equation. So now different forms of lines. In mathematics, every equation conveys some geometry. So now general form of line is ax plus by plus c. Like the different forms we'll study. In today's class I am teaching you different forms of lines. First we'll start first form. Before we go to the first form, I want to people become thorough with slope. What is slope? Slope andre enu? Tangent of angle made by the line with x-axis. M is equal to tan theta. What is theta? Angle made by the line with what axis? X-axis. And please remember, theta is also called as inclination. Slope is also called as gradient. Other name for slope, gradient. Other name for angle made by the line with x-axis, inclination. What is, how to find slope? M is equal to tan theta. If they give theta, theta means what? Angle made by the line with x-axis. How to find slope if they give end points? y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1. So now we are going for different forms of line. In today's class I am teaching you first form. To go for first form, first you should know the concept called intercept. Intercept, not sect, sept. Whenever any line cuts axis, coordinate axis, x-axis or y-axis, we call it as intercept. Intercept means when line cuts axis, we call it as intercept. And we'll have different forms, 6 different forms in our syllabus. Point slope form, 2-point form, slope intercept form, intercept form, normal form, parametric form. So different forms are there. That we'll study later. Before we start with different forms, I want you people to become thorough or familiar with some of the terms. So we use a term called intercept. So suppose this is the line. Now line is cutting what axis? Y-axis. The point where it cuts y-axis, we call it as y-intercept. And basic points. In points we'll say if point is an x-axis. If point is an x-axis, it will have x coordinate and y coordinate is 0. If point is an y coordinate, y-axis it will have x coordinate 0 and this is y. So these are the basics. So now I hope all of you are thorough with what are the basics I taught you. Before I go to this form, I want you to become thorough with slope definition and concept of intercept. What is meant by intercept? Intercept means it's the point where line cuts axis. If it is cutting x-axis, we use the term x-intercept. When the line is cutting y-axis, we use the term y-intercept. So intercept means what? When a line cuts axis, we'll get a point. That point is intercept. Axis AX ES is what? Plural. AX IS is what? Singular. When a line cuts x-axis, x-intercept. When a line cuts y-axis, y-intercept. And point on x-axis, point on x-axis will be in the form x comma 0. It will not have y. Point on y-axis will be in the form 0 comma y. It will have y coordinate. It will not have x coordinate. These are the basics required. So now, before I start my next class, I expect all of you to watch this class properly and become thorough with the definitions. So now, what are the first definition I taught you? Slope. What is slope? Tangent of angle made by the line with x-axis. M formula. What is M formula? M is what? Tan theta. And you also know how to find slope when they give points y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1. So now my next topic is what? Different forms of line. So I have drawn a line here, you can see. And I told the heading also, point slope form. This is what we are going to study in my next class. From here, every topic is interesting and every topic is important. And I told you, we don't draw. We convey the diagram in form of equation. That is the purpose of coordinate geometry. So, an equation represents a diagram. Now, let me just summarize what we have discussed today. First, I taught you what? Slope. What is slope? M is equal to tan theta. When to use this form? When they give angle made by the line with what? X-axis. So if this is y-axis and this is x-axis, and if this is a line, if line is making an angle theta in positive direction, we'll use the form M is equal to tan theta. What is M? Slope of the line. What is theta? Angle made by the line with x-axis. And second concept what I taught is, if they don't give angle, sometimes they'll give line joining points. So they'll give points A, we call it as x1, y1, B, we call it as x2, y2. When they give line joining points, further we can also find slope. How to find slope of line joining points? Difference of y coordinate by difference of x coordinate. x2 minus x1, y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1. And very important thing is, slope, we use tan theta and we use trigonometric function tan theta. Tan means all of opposite side divided by adjacent side. This means opposite is the height, adjacent is the base. So these two lines will decide how much steep. See, now my base is so long and height is so much, then this is the steep. Steep is less. Or my height is more and base is less, then the steep is more. Steep or slope is more. Steep or slope is more. To specify any line, we need two parameters. One is slope, the other one is point. If you don't slope, you can also write it in terms of 2 points. When you know 2 points, you can find slope. So these are the only two concepts we discussed. But these are the basic concepts to derive. What is the slope of line? M is equal to tan theta. What is theta? Angle made by the line with x-axis. How to find slope of line joining points? Difference of y coordinate by difference of x coordinate. And I also taught you table of tan. Tan 0 degrees is 0, tan 30 1 by root 3, tan 45 1, tan 60 root 3, tan 90 infinity. Memorize the tan table. And pi means 180 degrees, pi by 2 90 degrees, pi by 4 45 degrees, pi by 3 60 degrees, pi by 6 30 degrees. So angle can also be written in terms of pi, radians. So please become thorough with what I taught you today and get ready for my next class. In my next class, I'll be teaching you different forms of lines. So different forms of line. First we'll start with point slope form. And I told you, you should be familiar with the terms. Intercept. Intercept means what? Whenever a line cuts axis, the word we use is intercept. Intercept, inclination. And what is the other name for slope? M is slope. Slope is also termed as gradient. Other name for slope is what? Gradient. And theta. Theta means what? Angle made by the line with x-axis, or we can also call it as inclination. So you should also be thorough with the terms. I hope all of you understood what I taught you. Just revise this properly. Then we'll start with different forms of line. If all the forms of lines are on your tongue tip, then any problem becomes easy. And it will become a basic for tangents and normals in second year PUC. In 12th or in second year, you will be studying tangents and normal. Tangent is a line. Whatever the different forms of line you are studying now, one of the form we'll use as the equation of tangent in 12th. Okay. So now define slope in terms of angle, define slope in terms of point. You should be thorough, and we'll go ahead with what? Different forms of lines in my next session. These are the problems which I expect you people to solve with the concepts what we discussed. Find the equation of line. passing through this point and slope 5 units. Find the equation of line passing through this and making an angle. To find all these things, first you should know forms of lines. So in my next session, we are solving problems of this kind. To solve the problems of this kind, we should know different forms of line. So here they gave a point, here they gave a slope. So we should use point slope form. So to use point slope form, I should derive point slope form. To derive point slope form, I expect my students to become thorough with the definitions. So attend my class and become thorough with the definitions, and attend my next session. We'll be solving all these problems with different forms. So I hope all of you understood the basics what I taught you. I'll be waiting for you for my next session. In my next session, I'll be teaching you what different forms of lines, which are the basics required for us. So first form, point slope form, we'll discuss in my next class, and we'll do problems and point slope form. I'll also teach you second form, that is 2-point form, and also we'll discuss problems. 2 forms we'll discuss in my next session and problems based on that. I hope you understood this. I'll be waiting for you for my next session. Thanks for attending the session. Thank you.